Hello everybody, my name's Trev and this is our Renault Zoe. I'll just give you a quick walk around. It's a fairly new car. The most important thing about it is we own the battery. Hello everybody, right, first things first, we'll get moving. And this is the new Renault Zoe R40 and going for a little drive. Not going to try a long distance run on this because quite frankly it would take a very long time. I've got 110 miles on the battery range at the moment. We have been out in this previously, so you bear with me. This is the first video. I'm not trying to take over from people like Ian Sampson, who I recommend you see later on, because he's going to be getting a new R40 himself, or a Q40 I believe. So I'm now on my way to do a bit of clay pigeon shooting. Yeah, I do a bit of clay pigeon shooting. For all those anti-gunners, don't worry about it. I don't kill furry animals or birds or anything like that, so you know, no problem there. And if you want to see any of that sort of thing, there are plenty of places on YouTube where you can find it. For now though, I want to do a little bit of a talk on this new R40. We've had the car since September the 1st, and we have had a couple of little issues. The biggest issue that we've had so far is the charge timer. Sorry for the wobbly video. A bit of a rough road down here, and it's a makeshift bracket. It's not really built for this phone, so it's going to annoy a few people. But anyway, trying to keep to the limit here. Put the limiter on. Yes. Right. The main issue we've had with the timer was that when we plugged the car in, after setting up the timer schedule, it ignored it completely and tried to charge straight away. Now, we actually rung Renault this morning and asked them about it, and they're going to send me an email. They're going to do some investigation and find out what the problem is. I might have to do some screen captures to let them know what the charge timer looks like, and obviously they want proof that the charge timer is set and everything's in order. So the other issue, which is a little bit of a funny one, is we developed a rattle from the right hand side front, I don't know what you call it, but it's the plastic bezel that goes down in front of the window inside the car. If you give it a thump, it stops. But that will obviously have to be taken into consideration on warranty work on a first service if it persists. I know new cars tend to be a bit on the rattly side here and there, and the Renault's supposed to be plasticky. Now, this isn't the first Renault Zoe we've had. We've had a Renault Zoe previously for approximately 2.5 years, and a very good chap called Loam does a lot of videos. He's just released another one looking at the R40, and we ourselves had watched, me and the wife had watched the videos, found them very informative. So anybody who wants to wants to get a Renault Zoe, well, have a look at his videos. They're really great. Ian Sampson, I believe that's his name, is a Nissan Leaf owner who's ordered his own Renault Zoe that won't be here until quite possibly December or January. So from you know, from that respect, it's probably better to watch his videos, as I'm a little amateur and they're quite good at it by now. There's also another guy in Ireland who does a collection of Renault Zoe videos, and he's really good. Bart Spang and the Renault Zoe Owners Club. They're a good place to visit as well. Right, so as far as the range of this thing is concerned, as I say, it would take a very long time to check it out. I don't have the sort of time, and I'm going to leave that to the other guys who are really good at this sort of thing, and they run it until the battery's flat. Me, not that brave. Not that brave. Other things, differences on this Zoe are, well, they're not that many. The wheels are different. The wing mirrors fold in, door mirrors, they fold in, the electrically operated and electric fold in. They don't do it when you get out of the car and shut the door after parking up. You'll have to do that. You'll have to do that manually from the button, but that's not a big deal. I mean, as long as you remember to do it. If you're parked in somewhere where it's a bit dodgy, then fine, you'll be all right with that. What can I say? As I say, the battery is actually a 41 kilowatt battery. It has a really good range. In fact, we charged it up one night on economy 7 and we got a reading on the battery of 199 miles. 199 miles. Obviously, that will all depend on your driving style. And when people ask you, they'll say to you, "Oh, how far does it go?" Well, I don't know. The thing is, it goes as far as you're able to drive it. Dependent on your driving style, where you're driving it, that's another thing. How you're driving it. I mean, if you're blasting down the motorway, as you'll hear people say, well, you're going to be in trouble there. Not so much as far as this one's concerned, but yeah, the range will be a bit more limited than it would be if you were doing country roads. Right, hello again, and we're back. So just parked up and got the camera the other way around. See a bit of the road. Yeah, as I say, well, there are slight differences, and the mirrors is one. This is the dynamic nav, which has a few more extras than any basic one. It does have all the usuals. It has electric windows, cruise control, speed limiter, which is very handy. I'm using it now, and it has difference on the upholstery. Slight differences where the door handles are. The door, actually, where the controls are for the electric windows on the door. The upholstery is quite nice around there. Basically, it is what it is. You get what you pay for. It's not, I've heard, as luxurious as a Nissan Leaf, but then again, the price did reflect that. I won't go into prices because it alters depending on the dealers and what you can get from them. Traffic lights, so. Right. Big long boring pause there. Okay. Right, this car also has digital radio, which I'm a great fan of Planet Rock, so I like that one. And yes, digital radio isn't perfect in all places, but for the most part we don't seem to have too much of a problem. If you're driving to Derbyshire, yeah, you will lose signal, but then again, even on FM you tend to lose it, so no biggie there. It's not bad at all. As far as electric car ownership's concerned, they're brilliant. Range, anxiety, with this car you don't get it. It's just gone. You'll get where you need to go. Yeah, you can plan your journey. If you want to go as far as Scotland, then you will have to plan your journey. Obviously, you know you're going to need a charge point. Zap map on the internet, that's the place to go if you want to know where all the charge points are, and I do believe they're active now, so they can tell you if anybody's charging. I'm not certain, but I think they are. You'll also get comments on there, which gives you a really good idea as to you know, all the ins and outs of whether you pay, whether you don't. I want to even get into the ecotricity thing, because I don't want to even go there, right? And we don't use ecotricity, not anymore anyway, so that's another issue. But as far as the car's concerned, for anybody who's thinking of buying an electric car, they're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. With this one, if you buy it brand new, you get a free charge point, which is 7 kilowatt nowadays. I believe the other one used to be a 3 kilowatt one time, but you now get a 7 kilowatt charge point. So it's quite economic. Working out, we went from North Nottinghamshire to Gainsborough and back again for approximately £2. Now that is pretty good. Can't actually tell you the exact mileage because the wife's got all that sort of information, and she's a bit camera shy. Okay. I don't expect to do very good at clay shooting today. Not very well at all. The issue with that is it was very windy last night, and I think it's a little bit windy now, even though trees don't seem to be moving too much. Maybe it's dropped a little. We'll see. I'm on my way to a place called Cockett's Farm, and they do clay shooting, and I've been doing clay shooting now for about the same time as we've had a Renault Zoe. Not this one in particular, but a Renault Zoe. Now, my other car is, yes, it's a smart roadster, and it does around about 50 to gallon. It doesn't now because I've took it off the road on a sawn. That's a vehicle off-road certificate, and it's sat in the garage waiting next year, where I might plan to either one, sell it, or to put it back on the road for the summer, because it is an open top car. Real shame that Zoe's are not open top. Something was pointed out sometime on the internet. Would have been nice to have one, but I suppose with all the different stresses on the car, you'd have to build a bigger, heavier chassis, and there you go. Range will drop. Size of the car, I wouldn't say it's a very good idea to get it as a full family car unless you're doing short little journeys because of the room in the back. Yes, it will carry 3 people in the back. It's not a limo, so you're not going to get the leg room that you'd expect on other cars. Well, so far, I hope that's filled people in a little bit about this new R40. Another difference, just remembered, another difference is on the old Renault Zoe, on the doorstep was a plastic sill protector. That in itself sounds like a brilliant idea until you decide to wash the car, etc., and then you'll always find that there's a little bit of muck gets underneath it. It didn't seem very great, and so that's not on this one. And another thing that I noticed, which is quite an obvious one, is that the badge on the front is now chrome, it's not blue. The blue badge, it looks like they'd had enough of it. The plastic kept coming off, And I don't know if we've got a... There we go. I think we've got somebody behind me that's a bit impatient. The plastic kept coming off it, and we had one. I know of people that's been on the internet have had more than one of these badges replaced. They're absolutely useless. The plastic comes off. The blue coating gets water under it when it rains, and it rains heavy, and then it gets water under it and forms bubbles. Anyway, enough of that. Okay, we're back. Okay, why am I wearing camo gear when I'm shooting clay pigeons? Well, it's so the clay pigeons don't see me. Nah, it's just because this coat happens to be a really decent coat for wearing it on a day like today. That's all. I'll say I can really account for any other reason for wearing it. Right. Has there been any other things I can think about? Oh yeah, the cigarette lighter. Well, on the old Zoe, the cigarette lighter, if you look at the top of it, it's a little bit like a toilet seat. And we quite like that. It was a talking point, it was funny and amusing. This one has had a slight change to it. If I get a chance later on, I'll go around these differences and just point them out to you. You know, as we travel along, I'll not bother doing that, but later on I'll point out differences. Anyway, that was quite amusing. Now getting back to the range on this, if you drive it really well, you could possibly get a couple of 100 miles out of this car. I believe we could probably do it. Now from where we live in North Notts, we are able now in this car to get to Scarborough without charging and part of the way back again, probably a quarter to half the way back again. So what's the problem? Well, there isn't one. We did that run in the previous car. We stopped twice. We stopped once in Doncaster and we stopped once at York. Now we didn't do the main motorway trip there, and because the charge points, okay, the 43 kilowatt electricity charge point was there, but I wanted to avoid the motorway because, yeah, for one thing, it was a much more pleasant drive and going the way we did, and for the other reason is the price. And to be quite honest, oh, there we go, speed limiter, speed restriction warning, so I've got the tom-tom set for that. So yeah, we did the 2 charges. We probably could have got away with 1 charge on the previous, which I believe is a 22 kilowatt car. Yeah, I know. 50. Set it for 41. Yeah, it does. It is. Alone has said this. It is a bit annoying that you have to go up in on-stage increments on the speed limiter. But, there we go. That's not altered, by the way. That's the same as the old car. Yeah, so getting back to the trip to Scarborough, yeah, it was without issue, no problem. And now they've got a charge point, I believe is it Holy or Little up at Scarborough. It was great. I charged up there on CYC charger, no problem, and came back the same way. Now this car, as we say, 1 charge all the way up there. Now Renault say that you do about 186 miles in this car before you need to charge it. Now we estimate that would be if you was okay driving a normal petrol car and then just jumped into one of these. Now at the moment I'm not paying much attention to the method I'm driving. I'm just driving as normal. I've got it on the eco mode. If you got it on the eco mode, it restricts everything to 50%, which is your air conditioning and all the rest of it. I've not got that on because I don't really need it. It's not that cold. It's just basically windy today. Yeah, I suppose you could annoy other drivers and eke it out a little bit more. But driving it normally, yeah, if you jump in it as though you're a petrol car driver, you might get about 180 mile out of it. If you jump in it and you already own an electric car, you will get a lot more. I believe you will get at least 190 out of it before you need to charge. Give or take a few miles. You know your limitations, your road conditions, and just what you expect to encounter on the trip. Right, back again. Okay. Now, hats off to them that do these videos for YouTube. This is the very first time, so I have to apologise for any gaffes I make or ridiculous things I say. It's not easy. I must admit, it's not easy. Thinking of things that no one else has said about a car, that's even more difficult. Speed limiter still. Oh yeah, and the speed limiter, right, so the cruise control switch, if you switch it to cruise control, it won't drive as economic as you could drive it. It's more interested in the speed you're doing, so, and the road conditions, it doesn't take that much into account. So the speed controller won't save you huge amounts of battery power. It will, however, make it so much nicer to drive because you just sit there, and yeah, it's not an autonomous car by no means, but it's still nice to just cruise along without having to worry about throttle position, etc. So if you've got plenty of battery power, yeah, you can do that. What more can I say? Not much. We're nearly there. Like I say, if you really want to, go onto YouTube, look up Living with the Renault Zoe. He's got a lot more video. Actually, thank you very much, because he helped a lot. He had his Zoe about a year before we got our first Zoe, and it was brilliant. He's been brilliant. Thank you very much. And Ian Samson, well, you're going to love it. You're really going to love it. The community spirit with the Zoe is something else. People just love the car, and I can't fault that. Cockett's Farm, here we are. Just got to go up this lane here. The corn's quite big, isn't it? Maze, huge, bit bumpy. Bear with me with the video. No, I won't be shooting anything like that. It's like a pheasant. I don't think I wanted to run him over either. Not that type of person. Ooh, oh, he's eating a bit of corn. Oh, crikey. A bit dangerous round here. There's one or two people who would shoot him. Right, I'm going to pull into the car park and then get my kit out. I might just show a little video of the clay shooting. There's a few people here. Now normally I come with next door neighbour, but at the moment he's on holiday. Okay. Right, there we go. Right, next will be a little walk round. There you are. The toilet seat. I'll just flip him up, which is not really a toilet seat anymore. So you've got the dash, and we've got the usual layout. I'll switch it off. And there's the readout for all those interested, and there's one or two will be very interested in that. Right, we'll have a look around. Oh yeah, the trim on the door, there you go, nice trim. And yeah, for those that don't know, because it's not that obvious and nobody reads the handbooks, if you turn the thing, the mirrors fold in. So you turn the button, you'll feel it physically click and the mirrors fold in. Anything else? I can see. Oh yeah, this piece of trim here, well this is different. Looks slightly different there. What have we got? And also down here you'll notice a little bit sticking out there so you don't catch the SD card. I've had some problems with that popping out the hole. Right, and here we go, a little bit of a mucky sill. As you can see, the sill hasn't got, there's no protector strip on the sill, which I think is actually a good thing, a very good thing. Oh yeah, you don't need to put the key in the slot, not on this model, unless it asks you to. It will come up on the screen and it will say somewhere in this area that you need to put the key card in, and it will show you there. Oh! Right, here we are. Well, I'll just put the wipers. That's it. Right, so show you the wheels. The wheels are, yes, quite different. I'll get a bit of a look at them. And there you go. There's a bit of reflection from the sky, but no blue coating. No blue coating. Folded in mirrors. And as I said before, the most important thing, this. We own our own battery. So for now, I think that'll have to do. Right, here we are. A little bit of skeet shooting. And not bore you with too much of this. It's just incidental. There we happen to be. Bang bang, pop pop. Oh, it's very rough today, so we'll leave it to that thing. Walking back to the car. Yeah, little trot. Really important. Yes, the nicely laid out grounds. There's the little Zoe in the distance. Well, I didn't do that well. 19 out of 25, but oh, there were some challenging shots. Too windy. Excuse book, centre pages next to the staples in the middle of the book. Right, okay, I'll pack away with you in a minute. Right, back in the car, feeling a bit dishevelled, quite windy, depends where you stand I think, but out there on that skeet field, yes, you know about it. Right, so back home, we'll just set up the Sat-nav. I don't do that on purpose because I don't know how to get home. I do it because if there's any road problems, traffic alerts, it'll tell me. Right, catch you later. Okay, here we are, ready to set sail. Power on. Just pop in the navigation. And we'll soon be on his way. Okay. Done. Well, there does appear to be a small problem. There is a traffic delay. Just to avoid that one. Yep, that's avoided that. Done. The other thing, if I can remember what I was saying about the sat-nav, no, about the R-Link itself, is that the Android app for the Android Auto doesn't appear to work with the Renault Zoe at present. So we'll go that way. Mirrors, don't forget the mirrors. Nice. And off we go. Oops, a bit shaky. It's a bit of rough ground, this is. Yeah. Well, yeah, 19 out of 25 on a day like today. Okay, I got 19 last Wednesday, so not did too badly. Should be okay. Oh, I have had 24. Never had 25. It's the magical 25. Everybody wants to get 25. Everybody wants to be 25 who isn't. Right, okay, off we go again. Right, back on again, and on the road back.
Turn left.
Turn left? Oh, go on then, I'll turn left. I'll have to do quite a bit of editing. Videos will be upside down. As I say, first time I've done anything like this.
Turn right.
Yep. Right turn. Right, so as I say, the issue with the charge timer. Never had a problem like that with the last car. We did have a problem where it was our fault. We forgot to take the timer off. Don't forget to take the timer off. If you leave the timer on, set for a timer schedule, and you plug it into a public charger, it's just stuffed. It won't charge. No, this one, set the charge timer, plugged it in, and it started charging. As charge scheduler, that is. Charge scheduler was set. Now, according to what the chap said when we rung him, he said even when you set it on the car, you need to leave 30 minutes. Don't know, never tested that, so if anybody decides to, give it a try. But on the last car, I can't remember doing it. Now he said that could be why it didn't do it. But what we did is we moved it off the timer scheduler onto do not start charging before, and that option, it worked. Now we put it back on the scheduler and then it worked again, but since then it's not worked.
After 400 yards, go left on the roundabout. First exit.
Okay. Right, warning.
Go left on the roundabout. First exit, A614.
Ooh, Nissan Leaf. Looky there. Looks like a nice private plate on it too. We're in a Zoe following a Nissan Leaf. Amazing. Right, we'll take that off, set that to the old 50. I don't think I'm going to catch him. Now, one other thing about this car that I've noticed is when it is set to the economy, on the economy button, the pedal mapping seems a little bit more than on the previous Zoe. You had a little bit more power It's not that it's reduced the power, it's that you have to put your foot further down on the pedal. That Zoe only seems to be driving a little bit close to the curb. And what I've noticed is, as you drive, you need to put your foot down a little bit more just to keep your speed up. And we've had to take it off eco when we had a really steep hill with a full carload of people. Now that we never tested that on the previous car, but it definitely seems a bit different on the pedal mapping on the eco side of things. Seem to have lost the leaf, which just goes to prove just how many electric cars there are on the roads. There's another one, you see. We did come up against another earlier on, about a couple of years back. That would have been something else, seeing another leaf, or a leaf, obviously in the Zoe. Looky there, a wind generator for all you eco warriors. Yep. I don't think there's much more to say, and that wind generator should end the video and bring everything to a close. As I say, the other chaps are much better at doing this than me, and it's a good idea if you're very interested in buying a Renault Zoe, or you want to learn a little bit about your own Renault Zoe. I've only just skimmed over a few things, and nothing like they can do. Got a bit better equipment, GoPros, etc. This is only done on my mobile, so hence the shaky video and the rubbish video. And there we have it. So it's goodbye from me.